Okay. Welcome to the AB podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about March Madness. March Madness kicks off on Thursday. So today I'll be talking about some of the upsets to expect or to not be surprised by. So I'll pull up the brackets. So one of the first upsets I want to talk about is right here, which is San Diego State versus Charleston. All of Charleston's starters average double digits a game, which is pretty hard to deal with. But good thing for San Diego to actually have a pretty good defense. But just having your whole starting five average 10 points or more per game. And Charleston's only lost 3 games this season. So like they have a winning culture. So it's really unlike them to lose. So I won't be surprised if they competed to the end. And the next game is actually right below that game, which is Virginia versus Furman. A lot of people are picking this as an upset because of just Virginia's ways to disappoint. In the past couple of years, Virginia has been upset a lot by a double-digit seeded team. So people don't really get their expectations high of Virginia just because of their past. And another upset to talk about, which may sadden me, is Utah State versus Missouri. I do think Utah State has been really hot lately, but so has Missouri. So I think I think this will actually be a very good game. Obviously, in my bracket, I have Missouri. Just I gotta have a little biasness. But Utah, as you can see, Utah State shoots the three pretty good, 39%. They're good at shooting free throws. And like the big thing with Missouri is like rebounding. Like they don't really have a tall big man. So rebounding will always be a problem for them. So if they're getting out rebounded 9 times out of 10, they probably might lose that game. But on the other hand, Missouri plays like a really aggressive defense. They get a lot of steals per game. So I think that'll help them a lot. Like, because of their lack of rebounding. So their steals kind of make up for it, but at the same time they don't. And they do force a lot of turnovers, so hopefully that'll give them the edge to beat Utah State. But a lot of people do have Utah State beating Missouri in their bracket. Okay, the next game is going to be Duke versus Oral Roberts. Duke, early in the season, Duke wasn't really that good, but they're getting actually pretty hot at the right time. They just won the ACC championships, the ACC championship. So, but people have Oral Roberts upsetting them just because of Oral Roberts' past success. I think they made it to like the Elite 8 or Sweet 16 last year or the year before that, one of the two. So that's always, and they actually they have Max Abrams who like led that team last year still. So anything's possible when it comes to Oral Roberts. Like you see, they have Max Abrams who's shooting 44, has a 44% field goal percentage and a 37 3-point percentage. So he's leading them. So really anything's possible. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the same performance from last year from Oral Roberts. Oops. Okay. The next one I have is the side of the bracket. Okay. So this next game will be Miami versus Drake. I don't know. I'm not really too big on Miami, me personally. And Drake is actually a pretty good team. They're good at shooting free throws. They're they're a really good all around team. So I have them beating Miami in my bracket just because for the fun of it. And I also think that they're good enough to do it. They have a really old team. The youngest player of the starting five is 20 years old, and the rest of them are 23 years over. So that experience can like really help them a lot in this game against Miami. So I wouldn't be surprised if they upset Miami in this first round. And the next game I have is Kent State. I have Kent State beating Indiana in my bracket. And I know it's a bit of a reach because Indiana has like a top player in college basketball. He just got first team All-American. But I don't know. I'm pretty big on Kent State for some reason. But I don't know. I'm just feeling it. They competed against Gonzaga, who was a 3 seed early in the season. They only lost by like 7, I think. And then they played Houston early in the season also, and they only lost by 5. And Houston's a 1 seed. So like I have Kent State making a Sweet 16 run. And also beating Houston to get, second time's a charm. So I have them beating Houston in the Sweet 16 and making the Elite 8, but then losing the Elite 8. So I just think Kent State they obviously showed they can compete with the top teams, unlike other lower seeds that don't really have top teams in their schedule. So Kent State has already shown they can compete with top teams, and Indiana is not up to the caliber as Houston. So I really think they could. I really do give them the edge in this matchup. So if you haven't did an upset or don't have any upsets in your bracket, I would choose this one. And plus, Indiana's a pretty inconsistent team. So Kent State, let's go. And I think okay, the last upset I have is VCU over St. Mary's. VCU is a really well-rounded team. They have the A10 Player of the Year on our team also. And then they also have a guy named Nick Kern who actually is from St. Louis and went to Vashon. But like I don't know, I just have a lot of faith in them. I'm not really too high on St. Mary's, to be honest, which is why I have VCU winning, and I also have VCU going to the Sweet 16 and losing. But I don't know, I'm high on VCU. And nobody in the A10 was really any competition for them. So I just feel like they're gonna show that they're like an elite team in this and go all the way. So this has been Aamir reporting for PCH TV.